Boop. Happy Monday. Today is Monday, June 7th, 2021. Today's daily Bible readings come to us from Psalm 108, 1 Samuel 7, 3 through 15, Revelation 21 through 6, or you could read Psalm 74 and 1 Samuel 16, 14 through 23, and then Revelation 21 through 6. And I am going to look at 1 Samuel 7, 3 through 15, and talk about Israel under attack. And so this passage here, Israel is being attacked by the Philistines, and they don't know what to do about it, right? But there's like everything in the Bible, right? Obviously, there's this spiritual component to it that Samuel explains to them. He says, direct your heart to the Lord and serve him only, and he will deliver you from the hand of the Philistines. Why is that? Well, it's because, he starts off by saying to them when they come to him, he says, well, if you're returning to the Lord with all your heart, then put away the foreign gods and the astartes from you. So basically, it's this idea that they had drifted away from God. They had gone after foreign gods, and now I look at it this way: the gods were claiming what was their possession, what was their territory, and they were doing it through the Philistines, if you want to think about it that way. And so they had walked away from God and ceased to be his possession and turned themselves over to these foreign gods. And I guess you could say it was, that bird was coming home to roost. And that's the situation they're in. But Samuel makes a promise to them. He says, direct your heart to the Lord, because if the people reject these false gods and the idols that they worship and just this idolatrous nature they have, all these things that they've sought after, right? That God will deliver them, right? Because God fights for his own. God fights for what is his own and what he has, laid claim to. But as long as they're insisting on turning away from God, why would he bother coming to their aid is kind of the idea that's going here. And so what happens is they like, oh yeah, that's a good deal. We're gonna get rid of all this stuff. We definitely have sinned against God. As they gathered at Mitzpah, poured out this libation offering, right? Poured out water before the Lord and confessed their sins to God. And then Samuel sets up to offer this sacrifice. Meanwhile, while he's doing it, they can see the Philistines getting ready to attack them. And they're like, hey, just keep doing what you're doing. We'll make sure we'll do what we can. And we're told that in the middle of Samuel offering up this whole burnt offering, right? It's not just like a shared offering. It's the idea that this whole lamb is being offered as a sin offering because they really need to repent and they really need to atone. And so during this, the Philistines attack, but it said that God himself thunders against them. Samuel doesn't have to stop what he's doing. He keeps doing what he's supposed to be doing. The people don't have to stop what they're doing and repenting. God himself takes care of the Philistines, throws them into confusion. They kind of run before Israel. It's the story you often hear when God steps up and comes to the aid of his people. Now, we don't have idols like they did. We don't worship the same thing. We don't, worship, Baal and Astarte and, Dagon and all that stuff. We don't have these but we do have false idols. We do have these things that we lift up and we worship and we run after ahead of God and in place of God. The truth is, we don't own them as much as they own us. All these modern idols and false gods that we like to worship, that we think we control. In reality, it seems like they control us more than we control them. And at the end of the day, we very honestly are probably oppressed by them more than we realize. But here's the good news that Samuel would have you hear. If you direct your heart to the Lord, he'll fight for you and he'll deliver you from that oppression. Anyway, that's the DBR for today. We'll be back tomorrow. Get out, enjoy the day, and we'll see you later. Boop.